Hello, and welcome to part 11 of TCG Plays Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, the Trilogy. How are we all this evening? I hope we're doing alright. I see Jesus Fried Christ and Murgut were in the chat, or at least they were prior. So, good evening, guys. Hope you're still around. I hope JFC, I hope you're not doing too much work, mate. Hey, there he is. Oi, he says. Oh, I hope you haven't been waiting long for me. I mean, I pushed that go live button at 9:30 on the dot. So, you got another day off. Oh, that's sweet, mate. Nice one. The overtime hasn't been announced on my side of my neck of the woods yet, so still waiting for that to happen. Potentially, Accuser, you've just been waiting a few hours. No, not Moriarty. You're not late. Good evening. Good evening. So yeah, I feel like these trials are going to start to last a little bit longer than the previous ones did, because that's the thing about the first Ace Attorney game. The first 4 turnabouts, they did kind of, well, at least I feel like they didn't last as long as some of the future turnabouts that came in sort of like subsequent titles. So what you'll probably find is that as we do the streams, we'll probably get through one part before I get to the point where I'm pretty much snoozing on stream, which, full disclosure, very nearly happened last night. So hopefully, I've got my Fanta, I have a cup of tea, I've just had some food, I've got the lights on, I have the window open, there's a nice little breeze coming through after another warm day today. Actually, that's the point. Yeah, still very, yeah, exactly, yeah, still very warm in the UK, yeah. JFC, Murgu, if oh yeah, there you are. Yes, you are there. Excellent. What's it like in your neck of the woods? You know, we have a Canadian and an American in the stream. Let me know what it's like in your neck of the woods. Storming for the 20. Oh, got my microphone again. Storming for the 21st day. Bloody hell. And the weatherman tried telling us that there was going to be a nice little storm later. Never happened. Never does. Still waiting for it. Warm, so you got into the 20s then, TCG. Do you know, we actually got to 30 degrees. I think it was yesterday or Sunday. Yeah, it's getting hot. What's it like in Australia? I mean, surely we're getting warmer, so you guys must be getting a bit colder now. I think you did confirm that last time, didn't you? 31 degrees right here right now. It's been hot and sunny all day, but it's about to thunderstorm. Oh man, don't threaten me with a good time. It did. Do you know what? Actually, to tell you the truth, actually on Saturday we did have a little bit of freezing. Yeah, mate. Can we swap? Can we swap? Gently benevolent. Can we? Need a bit of cold weather. So the thing is, we don't have luxury of air conditioning over here in the UK. You know, and it's funny actually, because people were talking about air conditioning on Twitter, because obviously, you know, we're getting mocked for complaining about the heat when in America and other more exotic countries it's, you know, gets a little bit warmer over there. But and this one's going to be more for the British audience. Of a more mature age. So GB, I know you're living in Australia, but I know that you are a Brit bonger. So I was watching. Me and my wife, we've been watching Brookside recently. They've started releasing old episodes on STV, I think it is, and it's amazing because I mean that soap started in the early 80s. And like central heating was just becoming, you know, a bit of a what should we say? What's the word for it? What is the word for it? It was a bit of a, you know, it was a bit of an entitlement, you know. Yeah, it was a bit, you know, if you had that, it was some, you know, you were fortunate, you were privileged to get the old the central heating. Nowadays it's just standard, you know, but I was watching it and I was like, oh my god, man, they didn't even have central heating? Like, Jesus. It's mental. But then it is set in Liverpool, so, you know, I mean, they don't really have much up there, to tell you the truth. Anyway. Yeah, we don't have aircon here, so it's just, yeah, fan and open windows. Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. So, there's a good handful of people here. Let's remove the old thumbnail. And as you can see, we're on day 2. Trial former. Okay, that's interesting. We're on day 2. I thought we'd be on day 1's trial. Next, you'll say you're catching up on the first series of EastEnders and enjoy Coronation Street. I used to watch both. Not so much now. I barely watch any television now, to be fair. But, I mean, we will sit down at Christmas and watch EastEnders just to sort of try and figure out exactly who's still in the show, who's dead, who's come back from the dead. Yeah, mate. Honestly, like I'm still amazed that Ian Beale and Phil Mitchell are still in it. Yeah. I think they're about the only 2 original people. Like we tuned in one year. Now, bearing in mind, one of like the power couples in that show for a time were a couple called Kat and Alfie, and they were like, and they were like staples. They were like rocks. You couldn't picture them being with any other person because it's Kat and Alfie in it. And then we tune in. I think it was this Christmas, actually. Christmas just gone. And she's banging Phil Mitchell now. And I'm like, what the how did that happen? What? So I'm like, okay. But anyway, I digress. I'm talking about stuff that probably the vast majority of you don't even know what I'm going on about. So we'll move on to the story now. As you can see, we're in the courthouse. It's February the 23rd. It's 9:34 a.m. It's 9:37 p.m. over here. And it is District Court. Burnsy, just in time. And Enigmatic, good evening. Good news for you. We'll have an Apollo. What? No way. Are you serious? Oh, mate. We are going to be playing Apollo Justice on as part of this because this is going to be a long series. It's going to be a long series, and so yeah, we will definitely be playing Apollo Justice at some point. Oh, mate, that is absolutely mental. Get in. This has literally just recently been announced. That is mad. They must have been catching my streams and thought, you know what? Now would be a good time to announce that. Excellent stuff. Proper chuffed. Enigmatic. Bringing the good news, my dude. Thank you. I will keep an... In fact, after this stream, I'm going to have a good old look into that. Another thing that we will play here as well will be The Wolf Among Us 2. When that's eventually released, because that's a long time coming. I did do the original over on my main channel, and then I ported the episodes over to the second channel. So they'll be in the video section if you want to remind yourselves of that series before we eventually, hopefully, play the sequel. Before I continue though, if you're new here and you've managed to get past the soap opera chat, please give the video a like. Smash the like button, like the judge smashed the gavel. Hit subscribe and get us to 200, because that's where I want to be. And in fact, YouTube are going to be lowering their requirements to get into the monetization program. So they're essentially breaking it into tiers. So if we get a 500 subscribers, and 3,000 watch hours, we can open things like super chats, super stickers, and all that jazz. And then, of course, if we get 1,000, 4,000, 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours, then we can do things like ads and stuff like that on this channel as well. So, it's free to do, it's free to click. Although in the interim, while we're waiting to get to that promised land, if you are enjoying the series and you want to show your appreciation in more than that, you can always check the pinned comment in the live chat and tip me. Don't have to, but it is appreciated. So, how did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of grey areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big grey area. Oh, don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. Well, that's... what? Quite the opposite, Lana. I'll have you know, it's served us pretty well so far. What if we didn't believe Will Powers? What if we didn't believe Miles Edgeworth? What if we didn't believe Larry Butts? Yeah, thought so. Pipe down. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is? You're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Here we go, guys. My first trial without Faye helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. What? I'll be alone in there. Maybe Phoenix could turn into Mia. GB, would... If Phoenix Wright morphed into Mia, would Mia still fall in the would category or would not category? So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. February 23, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 9. Oh, so we've got no Maya, but it looks like Emma's by our side. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Calm down, lads. Calm down. Haven't I seen you somewhere before? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. Oh, the judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca? What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up Queen. Angel Star, Your Honour. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? Just who is she indeed? If I might have the court's attention over here.
Let's go.
The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block. A block. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honour.
Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Right, guys, what are we thinking so far? Do we think that she is maybe responsible for more than she's letting on? Maybe she knows more than she's letting on. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honour. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Boil and mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honour. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honour. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me?
Bouncing potatoes. I hope we're talking about food, guys.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finally honed detective's intuition at work.
Oh, blimey.
Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car, I should say. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Potatoes, JSE, not potatoes, potatoes. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there was no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Whoa! Monty Python reference. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Witness account. It's cross-examination time, baby.
Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come.
How did you know?
I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uniformed. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, well, I'd still be one.
Laid off? She was fired.
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. Sorry, something was in my mouth just then. It was lunch. Filthy-minded fools.
This boyfriend. He's the detective.
Not that boyfriend. The security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend.
Maverick! Laid off and has a grudge against prosecutors. Exactly.
Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
No, I'll stick with the lunches. Thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying.
Oi. She belongs on the streets. yeah, she does.
The security guard room is in the lot in A block. Ooh, it's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there.
Oh, excuse me. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car?
Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work.
You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder?
It felt like, how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective?
Yes. Well, he was like a young cheese.
A young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard. Oh, I'm getting my commas mixed up. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Did our defendant lay Star off personally? Maybe. Maybe the reason why the yet another boyfriend vacancy is available is because the yet another boyfriend took a few pokey pokes to the chest.
Yeah, with the odour of an old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car.
By garish car, you mean...
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed it was. Chatter, chatter, chatter in the courtroom? What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away.
I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me.
I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring.
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
Ooh! Oh, crap. Damn it. Enough. A photograph? A photograph? You took this? Guys, look at this photograph. Tell me how it makes you feel.
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over, and I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I'd show it to you? A prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of the Criminal Affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Oh, great, guys. How are we going to blag our way out of this one? Oh, Reggie, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time?
The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. There's no knife there now, but that's fine. Let's keep picking of the nits. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. As am I. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person.
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Whoa, hold up. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late?
Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
Remember, talk about plagiarism. You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Oh, sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
How much do these boyfriends pay her? Well, she's feeding them, so they probably don't pay her at all. Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that.
Right. Well, it says keep pressing, so we keep pressing. Because sometimes what will happen is you'll actually go through a whole round of pressing. You'll get a bit of information like we have this time with the extra photo. And then by pressing again and going through those motions, you'll actually contradict the witness at that point. So yeah, so we already know this. Thank you. Yep. We know. So I was on my way. Okay. I think we might get it here. This boyfriend. He's the detective?
Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. The, yet another boyfriend has recently passed. Applications are open. Care to join?
There you go. Yep. Yep. And she goes through this. So she was on this side. I think I know where the contradiction is, by the way, chat. I think I do know where it is. What do you think I can use? Hang on a minute. Is there actually... Okay. Hey, Marina. Good evening. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchbox to the car? Okay. When I sent some... Okay, keep going. Felt like how you would say, oh yes, it was like the feeling. Yeah, save, yeah, I will save, don't worry, Murgy. Speaking of a detective's intuition... Okay, we're just cycling through because we've already gone through the testimony. So we'll go through a second time, because like I say, sometimes you'll find that you can actually contradict the witness just by pressing. Especially if you go back and revisit testimony, because when you get new information, sometimes it can, let's say, cause the story to move along. Love that. Okay, tell me more about the knife. I mean, she talks about... Actually, no, I'm kind of revisiting my theory about what to present. Because she talks about holding a knife, but there's no knife in that picture that she took. Okay. Yep. Okay. Right. Right, save with a full head of health. Right, I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to ex-boyfriend. But you couldn't have been. No. Okay. Your Honour, that statement contradicts this evidence. Ah! Blood on the coat before the stabbing? Maybe. Okay. Let's go, let's go. Hold on a minute. What car? I mean, it's a black and white photo, annoyingly, so yeah, that's probably... Okay. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. See, now this is the thing. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, can we press? Can we present? Yes, we can. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. Tell me how it makes you feel. This is the photograph you took the very moment of the crime, is it not? Mr. Burns, you've been here for a few streams now. You're blue. Dubba-dee-dubba-die, dubba-dee-dubba-die, dubba-dee-dubba-die. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Wait for it. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Clearly it was after the fact. This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood spatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. I'm not blue, I'm very cheerful. Yes. But also quite warm. No problem. Except you. Mr. Wright, you're going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse. You got a better idea? Alright. To do. Go on, chat. I'm going to save it as well. I shall save. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Should we object? Should we crack on? I mean, to be fair, I know what I would do. Okay. You seem to be quite unanimous in objecting. Okay, cool. We'll go with that then. Object because funny. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. But it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? Well, if you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. If I went to court, I would shout objection for fun, to be honest. You would be in court for very long then, my dude. You had some technical difficulties. I'm hoping that's not through my end. I always get worried when people say they've had technical issues, and I look down at the old numbers, and I'm seeing nothing wrong. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating. Like a robot, she killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, Are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Okay, not Moriarty. Cool, cool, cool. You're going to run to the shops quick. You be quick, mate, because I think it's about to get action-packed. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Wah! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder. Serious offence.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it.
Right, okay, we've got a little bit of extra info. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like, driving gloves? Cornetto. The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. Oh, have we got them? They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies.
In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Yeah, food preparation gloves. Wow! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking it was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. Yep. Alright. Okay. Oh, well, overstepped it. Right, so we go back to the gloves. Okay, can we... Ah, no prints. Okay. Okay. Right. Victim's note. We open. Is there anything in here? Okay. Never mind. Oh, guys. Struggling again. Maybe it's something to do with the hand injury. Because if you... Oh, I can't present. Okay. Right. Can't be the knife. I kind of want to... Right. Nah. Obviously, but... Okay, that's... No, that's no problem, mate. That's no problem. Say, be safe. Right, okay. We better... save it because we might struggle here. So... I mean... The parking stub, maybe? I mean, if it's a premeditated murder, why... The car only arrived 3 minutes prior. No. Okay. I think we're going to get Boogard over here, lads and ladies. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. No. Okay. Right, well, I'll try one more bit. Yeah, okay. Right. So the truth, I think... I don't know. We might be here for a while. Okay, let's keep let's press and guess. We'll keep pressing because again, like I say, new information's come out. So that might mean I don't know. Okay. I mean, I haven't used the knife. Okay, we'll try this. Now we've run through it all. Okay. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's try the knife. Yeah, it's a knife. Okay. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed. It is my knife. I wonder... What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon? A red car? All belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mummy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? Ah, the murder weapon, of course. So we ain't got to worry about the fingerprints on it. We just got to worry about the fact that she didn't bring her own murder weapon. Gotcha. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. That's a slicing knife. No good for stabbing. Order. Order. Order, I say. Great. Now the tide is turning in our favour. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Tap, tap, tap. Uh-oh. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. This shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Mima! Good evening. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Angel's Delight. Otherwise known as deduction.
Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again, and I found a contradiction, ladies and gentlemen.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it?
So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Do we press, or do we just go straight into it? Let's press. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she is about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie? Huh. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something's half-baked here, all right, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim?
Her actions speak for themselves. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office.
You have no proof that Miss Skye called him there.
You have no proof that she didn't.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Skye's phone.
She might have written him a letter.
Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office, where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day?
I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim.
I'm awake. What kind of grudge?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge.
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See? We agree there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors.
The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this?
It's simple. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and 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 again, and there was only a single stab wound, and again and again and again and
take that. Objection. You say she stabbed him again and again. You couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this. But take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
What a hunk. He's my hero. Really.
Alright, calm down. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realise that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast.
Spattered blood from her victim. She also said breast.
That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought. Then tell us what you thought you saw was blood.
Testify.
This is all in the same as well.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
Her red muffler? She ain't wearing a muffler. Come on, love. Keep up. Crispy and fried. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh? But that can't be!
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver?
But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really?
Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. But back to business.
What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
Most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. Are you talking about the Mergu? There is a Chinese $1 meat store in Vancouver. Is that the one that Dev talks about? This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Yuck.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum.
An oil drum?
What to imagine? Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman.
Rawr, apparently. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Right.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I'm still...
Did she, though? There's the partition off to her side. Okay. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The map, yeah, it's got to be somewhere in the map, innit? The chief prosecutor made to escape. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll go through pressing. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself.
Hold on a minute.
Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then? That's a problem. Hold up. Mergy, you might be right with that map. Right, I'll tell you what. Save it. Should we go back to the map? No. Boo. Boo. Right, okay, ain't that. Right. After the murder, suspect attempted to run behind a partition. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? Here we go. As I just said, I was only 30 feet from her the whole time. No, Mergut, you're right. It is the map. Let's press harder. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was here. She was a visitor. Thus, she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. I've arrived because the welly is boring. What's happening? We are in the process of debunking a big booty beep. Hi, Tash. Why would you even want to be over there? Politics is boring. We don't talk politics. Oh, Boris Johnson quit. Nadine Dorris didn't get on the honours list. Oh, God. Let's solve some crimes, chat. Let's solve some crimes. And Mergut, you are on the right track. And what's flashing in front of you is the reason why. Exactly, the chain link. There was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The cough-up queen, lunch lady, athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. So how did Miss Skye not get away? So let's go back here. Oh, are you kidding me? Right. Right. Okay. It is this. It is this. It has to be this. Ah! Ah! Okay, she made to escape? Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard in a pâté foie gras. She even kicked over an oil drum at me. There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. Hmm? What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other... Parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. Wish we could solve a few more before finding more, though. So Miss Skye tried to run. Faked his death to move abroad. Why go that extra step and do it anyway? Because he faked his death and his wife was in on for the insurance money. I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. Right. That crime guy, did you do on that video on that shameless plug? Elaborate. Oh, hang on. Elaborate. Remind me. I still feel like it... Alright. I've used this already, haven't I? Nah. Right. Okay. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her. We've already gone through that. Ah, yes, when I arrested her. Right, let's try and do this. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes. The chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? Oh, what happened there? Oh, that was me, sorry. That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. So she used her cell phone? Indeed. The emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. There we go. Right. Okay. Now we're on. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the... Right. Now. What? No, 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 it is the phone. It is the phone, because there's no record. Because if you look at the phone... Hang on. No. Ah! Okay, okay, okay. Right, let's press it again. Let's keep pressing. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one more time, so listen close, rookies. I need to keep pressing. I need to keep pressing. Yeah. See, the chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Right. No. Right, okay. Now can we use this? No, okay. Right, so we got to press this further. Ask further. Maybe we just keep going. Maybe we just keep pressing. Let's keep pressing. Okay. Do you think you could... Yep. We'll get it to chat again. Because we can see the obvious problem here. Like, because how on earth is Angel going to be able to see what she's doing? Because, like Murgut said, well, not only there's a chain link fence there, but there's a big old partition. And she wouldn't have seen her grab the phone, the one on the wall. And she definitely wouldn't have seen her use the mobile. Map of the garage to be used. Yeah, exactly, but where do I put it, though? That's the thing. Okay, let's keep going. Right. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté foie gras. Okay, yeah, we've clarified all this. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Press. Okay, I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The lunch and car was okay, so we're going to go through that. Yeah.
Yep. We get that. We get that. Okay. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? Okay. We're a bit stuck here, chat. He's good. He had the best birthday party at the beach and even got a free ice cream cone and some slushy. Lovely. Sorry, I've got a bit quiet here because I'm deep in thought. Because this just doesn't work. Like, yes. Hang on. So... I mean... I've already used that. Okay. Try the map. I swear to God I used that before. I swear to God I used that before. That was... Oh! God damn it. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? Nice one, Mergu. You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Wah! Whoa! Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? Well, it's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. Literally can't, I've only got 2 lies now. The witness lied about where she saw it. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. Where was Angel Starr? Never mind. Okay. Go on, chat. First one. Where was she? Where do you think she was? Mergu, you're on a roll. Where was she? Where do you think she was? Do you think she was here? Do you think she was here? Do you think she was telling the truth and is actually here? Could she be down here? Could she be all the way back over there? Or could she be in the stripy area. Mima. Oh, I can slide. Or was she all the way over there? In the front end of the partition. Guys. All wrong. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Well, indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There were many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honour. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. Exactly, Mogo. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Revenge! That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Well, who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference. But what? What would change? It would change... because we're saving. Now... Quite right, Mima. Would we... So, are we thinking perhaps... I mean... Oh, excuse me. I mean, it's definitely the distance. TCG, your kids must have loved story type. They still do. So... Yeah, because she would have had to go out of B block all the way around to A block. And bearing in mind the car was parked in B block, allegedly. So she would have had to do that by foot. The angle of view to the crime would definitely have changed. Wall would cast a shadow, yeah. Angle of the dangle. Oh, oh god, we're back with that again. Back with angle of the dangle. Okay, let's go with distance for now. Yeah. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. Hey, Bilbo. I got here, just don't listen to me. No, we'll listen to you, my friend. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what we could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness, you... Yes?
You ordered the squid wheels, right? Quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene.
Miss Skye sounds like a prawn name.
Yeah. But the door was locked, so I couldn't open it.
So she went back round. All the way round. Oh, it's taking her a little while now, isn't it?
That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this?
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Oh.
Do we have evidence?
Hang on.
Date and time of death, February 21, between 4 PM and 5:30 PM. That's interesting because we're very specific with the time.
We saving, guys. We saving. I feel like... Let's sit back and observe and see what happens first of all. I think I need more evidence before I go sticking my spork in this mess. Woo! Caviar! Ah, how it makes my eyes tingle.
Mr. Wright, no evidence can win against the raw power of caviar. It's a scientific fact. The only thing that's left is your strong presence and deft powers of deduction. Let's screw the lid back on those overpriced fish eggs.
Okay, so it looks like we have got something. 5 minutes between witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente.
I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
A 5-minute blank.
Isn't that strange?
Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honour? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. No, wait. Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the crime scene. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yow! And I just noticed we're back up at 10 viewers. It's like the third night in a row, third stream in a row. Can we hit 11? That's the question. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. Ah, yes. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history.
We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it! Hold up. Uh-oh. She ain't finished yet.
Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
might be able to save you.
I have decisive evidence. Still polishing his rocks, methinks. Yeah, Harry, and where are you? He only turned... Do you know what? So far, right, he only turned up for part 1 to call me a Philip Schofield. I've not seen him since. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says,
you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Phrasing! Phrasing! Decisive evidence. Sorry.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Uh-oh. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Yeah, exactly. How did she get it, Mogu? I'm not being funny, right? But you have to wonder why they would allow... I mean, they haven't officially entered this into the court yet, but I mean, they accepted the photo, and... I mean, how do we know it's not evidence that's been tampered with? Like, it hasn't gone through any sort of process. It's crazy, isn't it? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And? You had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
Hey, there's Harrion. Objection. Hashtag. In any case, Your Honour, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence. At least for the time being. So what about the photo she took then, Edgeworth? Are we just going to forget about that?
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Hello, fellow Detective Sims. Yes. Hello, fellow Detective Sims, and welcome to part 11. Don't forget to hit that like button, Harrion.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective.
And we hit 11! Get in!
As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department.
Oh, okay, so it has gone through testing.
As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today.
Like, favourite, or subscribe. All of it. Just do it all. Just do it all. Get it all. Helps the algorithm, mate. Apparently YouTube are lowering the 12. Excellent. Apparently YouTube are lowering the restrictions now to get some form of monetization on your channels. 500 subs, 3,000 watch hours. It gets you the super chats, super stickers and all that jazz. I would love to see this channel get to a stage where that would happen. But hey, you can also tip me in the pinned comment if you are enjoying my work, enjoying the true crime series on my main channel, if you're enjoying the detective/attorney series that we're doing here. I'm aiming to be a lot more post-cat. I'm not posting cat videos. We need Soma. You had Soma, Tash. You've got it. There's an entire playlist.
Even the general public can produce evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so. I would like to get to 500 subs too, but that would require me to actually post video. Yeah, mate, I'm slacking on the main channel, I must admit. What I want to do is I want to get this game done, this particular one, take a little bit of a break to get a video out on the main channel, and then pick up and go and then do the second game. You mean I might actually qualify for monetization before 2030? You could do Amnesia. I'm not doing Amnesia. I'm not doing horror, all right? I'm not doing horror, okay? Let me be clear. It's going to take a lot of money and a lot of... Because the first game, when I did Soma, right, that was purely peer pressure. That was peer pressure that made me play that game, okay? Ain't happening now. Now you got to pay me. You got to pay me a lot, okay? I ain't a wuss, Harrian, okay? I'm not a wuss. I'm an absolute pussy when it comes to horror games. Okay, wuss is just too kind of an insult to call me. It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. No, he promised to do Zombie Apocalypse. Did I? I pay you $1. Alright, let me see it then. You could at least study some evidence law. Really? Game goes to... Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much... Yeah, yeah. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Amnesia game just came out. Yeah, I did see that. Seems like 3 views. Just saying. Yes, I get it, Bilbo. But you know what? I want to live to see 40. And I'm not... Right. Full disclosure, right? I was so scared of playing Soma, right, that as I was getting the streams prepped and warmed up, right, I kid you not, right, my arms were tingling. I could feel the blood leaving my arms. Okay, I felt like I was going into shock, and that was even before I'd hit the go live button, right? And I had to do... Those streams were about 2.5 hours. From like 1.75 to 2.5 hours a pop. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
We have a white enamel shoe. Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. H loved watched you with me. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Yeah, I don't like horror games. I can watch them. You know, I mean, we do horror streams with horror movies, with proper horror show. You know, I can watch horror films. I'm all good. I can be a backseat gamer, and I can watch people play horror games. In fact, I do regularly with my son. You know, we'll spend at least half an hour before he goes to bed, and we'll whack on a horror game. For someone like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye, or recently we started watching Corey Kenshin. Actually, we started doing that. We do like the PS1 horror style games, but honestly, I can't. Like I say, you have look. It's all about incentives. All right. If you really want me to do it, incentivize me. Okay.
I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Yeah, you should have.
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes?
I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results.
The results?
Just do it! How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing.
Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Did Wolf Among Us 2 come out yet? No, it's not yet. But, oh, actually, one thing you did miss. Enigmatic popped in earlier. I don't know if he's still here. If you are, make yourself announced. But Enigmatic came in to tell us earlier that, excuse me, the Apollo Justice games apparently getting remastered as well and should be out in 2024. So not only can I do the trilogy of these games, but I can also bring you the trilogy of those games. However, I am fully intending on playing those games on this channel as part of this entire series. So you will get the original DS versions. I'm just going to quickly switch you over to that now so you can see it. But this will be what the layout looks like when we do that, just because, you know, there's 2 screens. So the big screen will be in the big box, naturally, the top screen. The bottom screen will be the top right box. Bottom right box is the live chat. So that's what it will look like. Okay. We are doing it, and we are absolutely doing Wolf Among Us 2 if and when it does come out. I mean, it was supposed to come out back in 2018. It's supposed to come out this year. I don't know what's going on with it, but listen, we're definitely doing that game. And the playlist is available on this channel as well. Go and check it out for the first game. It was a banger.
Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book.
This when the suspect is admitting she did it?
But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with.
Woof among yes!
And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up?
And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime.
Excuse me. I detained this chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen.
I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag. Really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now, tell us what you did next.
2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One, of course, was the victim's.
Ooh! Ah, I can't. Can I not check it? Can I check it? Can I check it? I might be able to check it. Hold on. Let's check it. Right, so we've got 1 bit of blood. This blood is my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. And then we go back here. Ah! There's blood here too. On the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. Yeah, exactly. Tampering with evidence. And yet we've somehow still accepted it. Brilliant justice system. I love this game. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. Okay, so we've established that this is Goodman's shoe. Okay. So we can rule out a contradiction there. Oh, this blood. It's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Yes. Yes, it might. Let's go back to the autopsy report. Loss of blood from chest wound. Right, let's keep pressing and guessing. So, you brought it to the forensics department?
If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved.
It's just a flesh wound again.
To do that, evidence must be analysed by a forensic expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman?
As I said, there were 2 types of blood on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye.
You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test.
You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie?
Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person.
Or so I hear. That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt that it could be anyone else's but Lana Skye's.
So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that.
This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
I can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right?
Ugh. So submitted for DNA, exactly.
Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client.
She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup.
Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe?
A problem?
This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe?
Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Death due to loss of blood, 1 knife wound, died within an hour and a half. 4 out. Okay. I'm seeing a problem. I'm seeing a problem. I think we're saving it. We're saving it, but I think there's a problem. Okay. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now.
But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about this victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. It's the inside, it's too smelly. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button. It's gotta be this blood. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie.
Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood of the bottom of the shoe? Well, it's the photo, isn't it? Oh, yes. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. It can't be a match, Your Honour. Trust me, I have a foot fetish. Oh, God. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. I nearly said floody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order! 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 Well, witness.
What? Great going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mark. Think.
Think, Mr. Wright. Think, Mr. Wright. Think!
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Edgeworth is coming in to save the day, perhaps? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. That's a misquote. Oh, is it? Ah. That's really interesting. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Oh, does anyone know when season 2 of Invincible is coming out?
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain.
Not even seen it, but I know it's a misquote thanks to metism. Brilliant. And to be fair, do you know what? I have watched it, but it's one of those things like where the memes take over, and that becomes like the prevailing sort of like quote. So speaking of Wake Up Neo, the whole Morpheus, what if I told you, never actually is said in The Matrix, and yet because that old 2012 meme was going around for so long, it's just like, now when you think of Morpheus, you do think of him going, what if I told you? Maverick. I like how Miles goes, yeah, F this bee. Yeah. Yeah.
She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman.
Rawr. Morbius was a better film than Morpheus, to be fair. I meant The Matrix. You know I meant The Matrix. But I'm talking about Morpheus. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Uh-oh.
Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Oh no. It's Morbin time. Witness. Well? Although I did like the line, it's morphing time, and then he morphs all over those guys. Right. Anyone in the chat, right? Has anyone seen the 30th anniversary Power Rangers special on Netflix? Now, full disclosure, I have, because I'm a nostalgia nerd. I used to watch Power Rangers as a kid. Fun story. You know, when the Power Rangers movie came out, I think it was like 94, I think it was, with the old Ivan Ooze. Me and an old school friend had actually went to go and see that movie together. And he actually left our school shortly afterwards. And we sort of lost touch for about 20 years. And then when they announced the 2015 Power Rangers movie, we actually got back in contact. And we actually met up to watch that film again. And we haven't seen each other since. And that was about 8 years ago. But yeah, it is a proper nostalgia trip, that 30th anniversary. And it was, yeah, rip to JDF in the chat. And also, I thought it was quite a good little tribute to Trini. That was that 30th anniversary special. You would think that they would have done something for Jason David Frank, but the reality of the situation was that both he and Amy Jo Johnson, who played the Pink Ranger, had actually turned down opportunities to go, to take part in the 30th anniversary. And by the time that Jason David Frank passed, the film had, like, the production had already been wrapped up, so the film was, it was already produced, but they did like do a little a lovely little bit right at the very end, sort of post credits for him, which was quite touching. Mate, I was all about the Green Ranger. I was all about the Green Ranger, Burnsy. In fact, when I was actually quite pissed off, because I was obviously, the Red Ranger was the leader. Green Ranger comes along, baddie at first, then he loses his powers, comes back as the White Ranger, and then all of a sudden he's the new leader of the Power Rangers, and Jason is just absolutely fine with that. I'm like, mate, what? What? Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The Blue Ranger has the best line in any show ever. Go on, Harry, and what is it?
The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water.
I'm Scottish. What? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason, and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. I remember when I was like super young, I got the Red and Green Ranger, and I always put the gold crest onto the Red Ranger. Do you know what, right? Speaking about the toys and stuff, I used to have the Megazord, like the old school Megazord, like all 5 Dinozords, and you made the Megazord. My mate, on the other hand, he had the Tiger Sword and the Dragon Sword. Oh my god, I used to love it. And we also used to have like the little, remember like the little dagger that the Rangers would have in their holsters that would like change into guns. We used to have all the weapons as well, like the axe, the daggers, the bow and arrow. We used to have all that sort of stuff. It's so cool. In the original Japanese version, the Green Ranger died and the White Ranger was the leader in a different series. He was always a kid and a huge perv. Very true, Mima. Why would there be blood? What? Mate, do you remember Saba as well? sword that the White Ranger used. Based on Super Sentai build. I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers. Really? Oh, mate. That's such a shame. Although, mind you, Jurassic Park was like, what's 30 years old? My mum wouldn't let me go and see that in the cinema. Apparently, I was too scared. Apparently, I would have been too scared. However, this was a time where we were learning about dinosaurs. I was collecting magazines and, like, these little collectibles that you would have gradually built a T-Rex out of. And yeah, we were learning about it in school, and dinosaurs were literally my favourite thing at the time. But apparently I would be too scared to see a T-Rex. Oh, bless you, JFC, mate, yeah. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Objection, there's no laces on that shoe, so therefore how could she be tied to this murder? There you go. Not guilty. We win again, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale... telltale. Woofamogus signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's speciality. Erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. I recommend all young men watch Dragon Ball. It's good. Yeah, I quite like that. Maybe they just didn't want you dino morbing after. To be fair, she did. Was it? I think it was the Lost World. Yeah, it was Lost World. I'm pretty sure. When the Lost World came out, I had the flu, and yeah, I somehow managed to convince my mum to let me go and see it. And I swear to God, right. Dom Jolly was actually there that night, in the front row, just being an absolute prick. Like, massive popcorn, laughing at scenes that weren't actually funny, literally throwing the popcorn in the air, big old specky four-eyed twat. I'm pretty sure that was Dom Jolly to this day. I mean, it could have been the fever, but I know one thing: when we got back home, my feet, I got really ill, and I started like getting. Like burning up, like over 40 degrees, and I started hallucinating. And bless my mum, she let me sleep downstairs, right? And because I'm so like hot and feverish, I'm starting to like get delusional. I'm seeing velociraptors run in and out of our kitchen. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honour. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. She could have been. The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Objection! What? Little girl? What did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well... I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox? A lunchbox called evidence. Wait. Witnesses don't tell me you... Witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Do kids even have toys these days? Just seems like they hold iPad and charge bar. Yeah, I know, man, I know. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Phrasing. Look at this! Oh my god! Look at this. Oh no. A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. To be fair, that was the route I was going to go down until. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. faces in this are so good. Yeah, they are.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right, wet or not.
Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up on the asphalt. Take another good look. Ooh, don't give up. Not till the bitter end. Oh, spooky. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Go on, Phoenix.
Your Honor, wait! What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can't it wait?
No, it can't. Then it will be too late.
Look at this photograph. Tell me how it makes you feel.
The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. Save. Save.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
The muffler. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor?
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see.
And I see.
What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
I'm just going to close my window, guys. 2 seconds. I don't care for her poorly maintained muffler, to be honest.
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
It's got to be the cell phone. It's got to be the cell phone. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony.
Yeah, Mogu, well done, mate. Yeah, the phone. Yeah, exactly.
Muffler.
Regular muff maintenance is a must. I had some bad neighbours once. They put something in my car's... Oh, moody. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh dear.
Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings.
Sus. Sus. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. I think the biggest problem with toys today is they want to make the Autobots trans. Boys are meant to dress like girls and play with dolls, and meant to act like boys. Also very cheaply made. Yeah, I've heard about that with the Transformer stuff. They've gone all gender ideology. Man. Just like, okay. Fair enough. Alright, no comment. I don't know. Mind you, though, we're talking about literal things that can change from one thing to another. I mean, it's just, it's cartoons. As long as like, I mean, you can go overkill in either direction. I mean, you can go, you know, too far in either direction. To be honest, I've tuned out. I like my games and I like my true crime. That's what I focus on now. Focus on my family. Focus what's important. And, you know, the rest of it looks after itself. God, I am so tired. I'm chatting utter shit. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew. That was close. Exactly, Mergu. No politics. Get it at. Get it. But we made it. At least for now. Exactly. Focus on what's important. I kind of like the whole idea of, and I think it's British Knight, aka Halfling. You know, he quite likes his localism. I quite like the idea of that. You know, your local community. I always feel like, you know, if you try to be the best possible person that you can be, you can inspire others to emulate that. And I think that positive. I think that person, just look at Caviar Lady's dress. Sorry. And I think, yeah, exactly. Phoenix is very much important today. But yeah, I think if you know, if you're positive and, you know, and you just live by your own example, really, you know, just be the person that you want to be. And I suppose don't bow down to anybody else's demands. Like, don't. This is the thing. Like, again, I'm a live and let live guy, right? I don't care how you live your life, okay? As long as you're not doing anything illegal, or anything of that sort, right? I don't care what you do, you know. I know many people from all different walks of life growing up. We're all lovely people, okay? Don't tell me how to live my life, and I won't tell you how to live yours. It's as simple as that. Unless you're committing crimes. And bitch, I'll make a freaking video of that. I'll make a video of you, alright? Grow moustache, become father. Burnsy. Check on both counts, mate. Exactly, don't be evil. Yeah, just like Google says, don't be evil. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. Oh my god, we're still doing... It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry. To be continued. Google remove that. Oops. Right, let's save the progress up to this point. And I think, because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, I think that is a good point where to end the stream. So, oh, excuse me. Right, just gonna save that again. Make sure, just double check it. Make sure. Right, just get some music. There we go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that concludes part 11 of Ace Attorney, the trilogy. We're actually staying in the trial. We're staying in the trial. So we're not going to go off and do more investigative work. We're only adjourning for now. So, when will this stream be back? When will part 2? Reject modernity, return to nature, to drink beers and go fishing. Yes, I like that. Yeah. Be with friends, socialise, be happy. Be positive. Exercise. Not that I do, but nah, just be nice. Just be nice. Anyway, this has been fun. We'll do part 12. I'm probably right, so we'll probably be back. Now, I don't know. I've not spoken to Horrorshow since the other week. So I don't think we're gonna I'm glad you enjoyed it, Bill Bay. I don't think we're gonna be streaming again this Thursday over on Horrorshow's channel. So what I will do is I will be back on Thursday night where we'll pick up and we'll carry on with part 12, and we will get through probably, I imagine it will be the next part of the trial, next half of this trial, and I imagine there'll be some more investigation work that happens afterwards. So I imagine we'll probably get this episode finished either Friday or Saturday, if I stream nightly. But tomorrow I'm going to take a night off. I'm going to have an early one because yeah, I'm still trying to play catch up with my sleep patterns. So yeah, thank you to everyone sincerely who has stopped by tonight and has watched this and has been keeping up with the series as well. I genuinely greatly appreciate it. And we hit 11 tonight on the view count. Let's see if we can get to 12 when we do it on Thursday. So yeah, guys, go and spread the word, share the love. All right, give this stream a like on your way out. Make sure that you take care of yourselves. Okay. So, good night, everybody, and until next time, take care and goodbye.